Hi, everybody. Hope you guys are doing good. Come on in the room, settle on in. Come on in the room, get settled. I know I'm playing Drake. I understand. I know I've talked about him, but he does have a few tunes that I like here and there. Hello, everyone. I am Mambo. I am cover mother of Vision the Dawn Tour, founder and facilitator of the Charm School Mentorship Program. I am your weekly reader, and I'm adult bitch straight up out of Oakland. Hello, everyone. Hi, Allie. Good to see you. As you come into the room, settle on in, drop into the comments section, say hello, introduce yourself. I do try to be interactive here when I do these readings, so it is helpful for me to know who is in the room with me. So come on in, say hi, get settled in. All right. If this is your first time here, hello, hello. I will be taking questions from the audience once I'm done with the general reading. Hold your questions until after the general reading is over. Hello, Bertal, because I always do take questions from the audience, as many as I can, as many as I have the energy to do. Also, sometimes the questions you want to get answered individually do get addressed in the general reading. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's not be here all night. I'm also coming in a little later than normal. Usually here around 7:30. Hey, Sylvia. So we may have a small group today. I don't know. We'll see. But let's see what general wisdom the spirits have for us about the week ahead. Ancestors, angels, master spirits that work with me and elevate ancestors. I'm going to switch decks because this has been my main deck all day as I was doing readings. And I think it needs to rest, at least for a moment. So we'll use Pulp Girls to start. Hey, Aja, good to see you. Ancestors, angels, and master spirits that work with me and elevate ancestors. What wisdom do we as a collective need about the week ahead of us? Give us insight into the nature of any lessons, blessings, challenges, experience we'll have over the next 7 days. Who do we need to be and what do we need to see about ourselves, our habits, our environment that will allow us to navigate the week of August 4th through 10th with mastery? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Hey, Adelaida. Good to see you. Good to see you. A couple cards did jump out. I'm glad you were able to catch me too. I love it when you join us for the live readings. I love this message. It's okay. Hey, Sanidra, it is okay for you to feel good. Even if your money is not where it typically always is, even if it's not where you want it to be. A lot of y'all are in much better positions than you understand and that you give yourself credit for. And unless you understand that your valleys are just as important as your peaks, you will steal your own joy. And that's not helpful for you, right? The beat up, the judgment of self, that's not going to help you. Only thing it's going to do is bring you confusion and make it harder for you to clearly see where you are and how far you've come, right? Very first card, Sun card. People love you. People love you deeply. You are abundant and things are going much better for you than what you think they are. And so it's really important that you meet yourself in the reality of where you are, right? Sun card, baby gets what baby wants. People love you, your needs are going to be met, you're taken care of. So let yourself have the joy of being in that reality. Leos are very joyful. The sun card is about the joy of knowing that everything is working out in your favor, right? And yes, people love you, but it's also your own hard work. You are a badass bitch. You put a lot of effort into getting to where you are. So allow yourself to have, Nine of Pentacles should be a card of pleasure. So if you're having a hard time understanding where you are this week, go outside, connect with nature. Really allow yourself to embrace how far you've come. But the Nine of Pentacles is also a card that tells us we need to be moving our body. So both of these cards are about making sure that you're active this week. Get outside, let the sun get on you, be in nature, really, really appreciate how far you've come, right? Here's the thing. A lot of us are on our King of Pentacles journey. And I always say about the King of Pentacles, yes, they work really hard for their empire. Yes, they are the businessman. They're very successful. They're very lavish, but they had to work hard to get there. And a huge part of hard work is embracing those times where you hit a bump in the road. Also, knowing when you need to rest, right? I think this is coming up, and I'm going to get to the cards that fell out in the shuffle in a minute. But a huge part of what's making it hard for some of you to see that you are taken care of, that your needs are met, that people love you, they want to pour into you. And for the reason why it's hard for you to pour into yourself just as much as other people want to pour into you is because some of y'all are just fucking tired. Y'all are just downright tired. And I'll get to that in the cards that fell out. And the way that exhaustion is showing up for a lot of y'all is that you can't see clearly. Four of Cups. You literally can't see clearly, and you're staring at the same old cups, the same old mistakes, hyper fixating on what did not work out or what didn't happen the way that you want it to, right? And it's making it so hard for you to see the blessings that's literally right in your face, that people are literally trying to shove in your face, that the universe is trying to get you to focus on, right? And the way that you help yourself get out of that misalignment, the way that you help yourself get to a place where internally you are in alignment with the material reality of your blessings, is by embracing King of Swords energy. Some of y'all may have to literally just sit down and write a pro and con list about your life. Right? As much as you love other people, you may have to tap out and disengage from what everybody is saying to or about you right now, and just look at the facts of where things are. And once you weigh things, you'll understand you are doing better than what you are, right? Another thing, and another reason why some of us, again, can't really see this Leonic position, the sun card energy we're in, where we're actually highly blessed and we're okay, is because we're not writing, period, right? If you actually write down everything you want, you would come to realize that you have the majority of it, right? Some of you guys are saying, I want to be at a place where I have savings. You have savings. May not be as much as you want it to be, but it's there, right? Some of you guys are saying, I really want a job that I love and that I like to do. If you sit down and you do your journaling, you'll really understand that you probably prayed for the job you're already in, right? So sitting down and taking inventory of where you are will really shape your perspective, okay? Why is all of this coming up? You're so focused on the small things that you don't have and what didn't work out. If you cannot tap into this Sun card, Nine of Pentacles, King of Pentacles energy, you will block a blessing that's coming to you. So be careful, right? There are new blessings coming in. There's new opportunities coming in. There's promotion coming in, new streams of income, new clients. All that shit is coming to you. But the reason why you don't feel in alignment with it and you can't see it is because you've fallen out of gratitude, right? And instead of gratitude, this is where I'm gonna get to the two cards that jumped out. Four of Pentacles, you're being miserly. You're counting your pennies. The blessings that you got in order to make your life more abundant, you're not using them to make your life more abundant. You may have done a prosperity working to bring in money for travel, and instead of you having used that money for travel, you used it for some bullshit, right? You may have done a road opening working to bring you a particular job, and instead of being grateful for that job, all you're doing is bitching and complaining about the people who you don't like, and you ain't even got to know them yet because you only been there 3 weeks, right? There's something happening where that spirit of lack is making you clutch onto things as if no new energy is coming in, right? Because that's what happens with that Four of Pentacles energy. We get so fearful about what we don't have and what we could potentially lose that all we do is sit on our coins, and we can't even get involved in the joy of life, right? And not only is that taking you out of the energy of gratitude, and gratitude is what keeps abundance flowing. It's what keeps opportunity coming, right? Energy wants to be appreciated. It wants to be loved. It doesn't want to be rejected or ignored. And if you're still in the old energy where you were when you didn't have what you prayed for, you can easily lose your blessings. But again, we all so fucking tired. Y'all are not sleeping. I've been telling y'all's asses to get rest for at least the last 3 months, and nobody is taking it seriously. That miserly, I don't have enough, it's not going to work out energy is causing you to burn the wick at both ends, to overwork yourself instead of resting the way you need to. And that's going to cause not only nerve problems, Nine of Swords, the swords, it causes anxiety and paranoia where paranoia should not exist. Okay? What do I mean by paranoia? I'm not going to have enough money to cover what I need. Even though the streams are coming in that you prayed for, you're acting like they're not there. Your paranoia, which is rooted in your fears from the past, again, that Four of Cups, right? It's causing you to not rest. It's causing you to hold things too tightly. And you can't even meet yourself at the reality of where you are. Get some fucking sleep. Get some sleep. Rest, right? You can't even take on the new opportunities because you're worn out. You're worn out, and that's only feeding the fear. And fear cannot exist in the same space as strength and courage, right? So, all of y'all, every last one of us, whether we're watching this live or we're watching this in the replay, you are doing better than what you understand you are. You have more than what you think you are. And if you feel like you don't have enough, the answer is not to overwork yourself. Okay? The answer is not to overwork yourself. The answer is actually to rest, realign, review, look over how far you've come, and be grateful, right? That rest, that rejuvenation, that gratitude is going to give you the clarity of mind that you need to strategize and even be ready for these new things that are coming in. Okay? But do not push away your blessings with ingratitude this week. Be careful about that. Do not push your blessings away with old programming that's telling you that you're not going to be okay. Get yourself out of the fixation on your mistakes and your fears and stand in the energy of gratitude and see where you are, so that not only can you appreciate how far you've come, but you can be energetically ready for the new blessings that are coming in. Hey, Miss Renee, good to see you. Good to see you back on your original channel so that I know it's you. All right. That was the general reading for the week. Let's go into health and wellness next. Since Spirit is snitching on y'all and letting me know that y'all aren't sleeping the way y'all need to. Bertal said, it's my kid. I understand, friend. Well, see, okay. It probably is them, and it is probably you overthinking. Because you got the same, I do my best overthinking at 2 a.m. energy that I have. So I think that may have a lot to do with it too. I know I was nervous when I got snapped on last time. I'm so sorry, Miss Renee. Monitoring spirits, surveillance, I'm in a good mood, so I'm not going to rehash all that. But yeah, when I didn't recognize your name, I got a little antsy just because people been doing weird shit on my channel recently. Did I tell y'all that somebody hacked my email and I lost my main email address for a whole month? See, when the Lord said, or not when the Lord, when it says in the Bible that no weapons formed against me shall prosper, the weapon is gonna form, but it's not gonna prosper. And I don't think that people understand what that means. Like, you can do all this like weirdo petty shit, and you'll get your jollies for all of 3 minutes. But is it really worth it? Is it really worth that? Okay. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it there. Let's get into this health and wellness reading. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits to walk with me. My elevated ancestors. What wisdom do we as a collective need about our mental, physical, and spiritual health and wellness as we go into the week of August 4th through the 10th? Please give us wisdom about how to best take care of our mind, body, and soul so that we can have balance in our holistic health over the next 7 days. If there are any habits, practices, environments that we need to increase our participation in, reduce, or maintain, please highlight that for us. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. All right. One day I'm gonna get better at navigating this thing. Okay. Do not raise your blood pressure with unnecessary arguments this week, especially if these are arguments with people who don't understand who you are and what you do. We waste so much time explaining ourselves to people who are too, in the words of Iyanla Vanzant, spiritually retarded to understand who we are, what our path is, what we're doing, or people who are invested, actively invested in misunderstanding us, right? We can waste a lot of that time doing that over explaining, and it ends up not being helpful for us. What we need to be focused on is our own personal elevation. Are the conversations we're having bringing us closer to our alignment? Are they propelling us forward? Are they supporting us in raising higher? If not, if we have to literally go below us in order to have a conversation or engage in an argument, we are doing it completely and utterly wrong this week, right? It is only going to put a strain on not only your peace, but your cardiovascular health. The wands are the cardiovascular system, right? So don't do it. Don't engage in any unnecessary arguments, especially with people who are either too dense to understand or who have chosen not to understand you. It is a waste of your time. If anything, you need to spend that time getting smooth, clean the fuck away from them, okay? This is not a time where you waste your energy and your vitality in unnecessary conversations. And if you're having a lot of unnecessary conversations, if you notice that there are people that after you talk to them, it literally makes you sick, you feel physically drained, your heartbeat is going fast, whatever it is. If you realize that there are people in your life like that, this is the time where you start to make strategic decisions about, again, how to get the fuck away from them. And that may not mean that you never talk to them again, but they need to have limited access to you. Six of Swords, moving away from the things that no longer serve you, going down a path that is different than what you are leaving. taking the guidance from your ancestors, from your trusted mentors, from your elders about, because most of them have gone through this, right? The people that you respect. Allie, I'm not the person to ask this to. I don't fuck with the majority of my family. I don't talk to the majority of my family. I'm not the person to ask this to. I have literally, once you get into cousins and uncles, I have hundreds of family members. I probably talk to the same 8 people in my family. So I'm a Taurus. I'm queen of protecting my peace. If it's your family, then limit your communication with them. Do you need to talk to them all day, every day? Even if it's your children, especially if you got teenagers. If it's one thing, I know I only raised a teenager for 2 years, but one thing that I learned in that time is half the time them little niggas don't want to talk to us either. They don't. But this is about making sure that you are setting yourself up for peace. Because a lot of the shit that we tell ourselves is normal, a lot of the stuff we tell ourselves we need to thug it out through, that shit harms your body over time. It drains your physical health over time, right? That is an important thing to understand. The only person you need to focus on alignment with this week is you. Focus on alignment with yourself. Gemini energy, twins. You are your twin flame. You are your twin flame. You are your twin flame. Gemini energy. Another thing, some of y'all are not reading enough. Some of y'all are not reading enough. And if you sit down and actually read something and time yourself, you'll see the impact of that. There's a lack of intellectual stimulation that is causing some of you guys to be busybodies. And honestly, that's the only reason why you talk to these annoying ass people in the first place. You're fucking bored. So the Lover's card, Gemini energy, is literally coming along to say, read a book this week. Read something this week. Exercise your mind this week. That topic that you've been curious about, go ahead and study it. Y'all may be thinking, what the hell does that have to do with health? It has everything to do with health. Your mind and the health of your mind matters. The way that you treat your brain now while you are young enough to be able to have control over it dictates whether or not you're going to have dementia and all these other things when you get older. I'm struggling with long-term focus. Yeah, and that's why you got to, when it's hard, you got to do it more. I go through periods of time where I'm like that too, especially because I do so much spiritual work. There's so much energy around me, right? That's when I have to force myself to read, right? So especially if there's something that you know is important that's been on your list, force yourself to read it, baby. Even if it takes you a little bit longer than normal, that's your brain telling you that you got to exercise that muscle and that it's out of shape, okay? This isn't something you need to do by yourself. 10 of Cups, make it a tradition. I love that this 10 of Cups is here because not only are we talking about the cardiovascular system with the 7 of Wands, and we're talking about reading with the Lover's card, this 10 of Cups is here because some of you guys don't do these things on an individual level, and then you get frustrated with your children because they're not doing them. Or you get frustrated with your husband or your wife or your partner because they're not doing those things, right? You get irritated when you go to your cousin's house and all they want to do is sit around and smoke and drink. Well, nigga, you don't invite them to go for a hike. You know what I mean? You're not inviting them to walk by the lake or the river with you. So that's another aspect. It's not enough to be focused on your own health this week. There are too many of us that are in family units, and we have to think about how it's setting up tradition for our families, right? If you know that cardiovascular issues are something that it's in your family, make it a routine at least 4 times a week that you take your family on a walk after dinner, right? These are things to think about. This is coming up because a lot of you guys are going to be thinking about, you're having new thoughts and insights over not only your long-term health, but the health patterns that are in your family over this week, right? So this new insight, this new way of thinking, turn it into action and let it propel you forward. I see a lot of us engaging in new things as it relates to our health and our health patterns over this week and taking new risks, right? And here's the thing, the risks may pay off, they may not, but the journey of learning about what it is you want to instill in your family in terms of health, habits, and traditions is going to be really important. Go ahead and feed them kids some quinoa. They probably going to spit it out. They're not going to like it. Lesson learned. Don't give them quinoa again. They may want to have couscous instead, right? But try things out. Do things differently. You can't get to the point where you have not my braid being stuck to the card. You can't get to the point where you have the traditions and the routine and the healthy habits until you take the risks of trying something out and seeing how people respond to it, right? How your children respond to it, how your husband responds to it. You sitting here thinking that you got to make him pork chops every night. Go ahead and make him a little bit of salmon. Make him a little bit of what's that other fish that everybody? It wasn't sea bass. It starts with a B. I personally don't like it. Whatever. Make that nigga some fish and see how he responds to it. He may like it, but you have to take some risks and you have to shake things up and do things differently. What I'm seeing here is an energy where instead of being active about the health habits in your own life and your own family, a lot of us are defaulting to gossip and we're defaulting to hanging out and running our mouths with people that can't even really understand what we're on. Spend less time doing that and more time building the kind of constructive habits you want for yourself and for your people. And honestly, these 7 of Wands idiots that are annoying you, they gonna fall away naturally anyway, right? I went through a long period of time where I was vegetarian. And I noticed that certain people would stop going out to eat with me because I was vegetarian. And for a millisecond, I was irritated by that. But then when I stopped and I realized, like, I don't fucking want to eat birria and cheesesteaks all the time. And when I realized I was having birria and cheesesteak ass conversations, I was like, okay, well, there's a connection here, right? Sometimes the easiest way to get away from people that are draining our energy or who are talking misalignment into us is to be honest with ourselves about the ways in which our own habits are out of alignment and go ahead and put those structures and traditions into place so that way we're not even forced to be in interaction, sitting around gossiping with people, sitting around talking and bringing defeatist mindset into our lives, right? Change your habits and that'll change your environment, quite literally. If we think about that in terms of a dramatic way, like we got to fall out with people. No, sometimes just change your habits. And then the people who aren't meant to be there will fall away naturally. And not only will that help you protect your peace, which will also protect your blood pressure, but it helps those around you that actually matter, your kids, your husband, your cousins, the people in your intimate community, right? I like that health reading. That felt really good. That felt really good and really specific, but like it applies to a lot of people, which is what these readings should be doing anyway. So let's go ahead and get into love next. Let's get into love next. Since this is my love deck, we might as well get into love next. Bass. No, it wasn't sea bass. It wasn't sea bass. I like sea bass. It was something else that got a lot of bones in it, though. Kind of like sea bass, but not. I feel like it begins with a B. It'll come to me later, and then I'm going to be pissed about it. Ancestors, angels, and masters, spirits that walk with me, my elevated ancestors. What wisdom do we need as a collective need about love, relationships, and romance during the week of August 4th through the 10th? Who do we need to be and what do we need to see about ourselves, our habits, and our environment to call in the experiences of love and understanding that we would like to have over the next 7 days? Give us wisdom around how to be the type of love we want to receive. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. No, it's not tilapia. It's not tilapia. It's not barramundi either. It's something that begins with the B. And I'm having a hard time It wasn't brim. It was something. It was like, I don't want to call it a hipster fish because that sounds really annoying. Branzino. Branzino. There we go. Branzino. Branzino is overpriced, and I feel like sea bass and cod tastes better anyway. But it's Branzino. I feel like I couldn't go anywhere in Atlanta for a point of time without there being a Branzino on the menu. And I don't know if people just didn't know how to cook it or what was going on, but it was always dry and weird. If you're trying to have a whole phase during this Chiron retrograde, I apologize to all of y'all. I don't mean to joke, but I think, and I feel like this has to do a little bit with the Neptune retrograde as well. A lot of y'all are not seeing clearly. A lot of y'all are seeing, a lot of us, I'll say us. I kept saying that I'm going to be better about saying us so that it doesn't sound like I'm singling y'all out. A lot of us are having a lot of trouble seeing clearly, and it has everything to do with our shadows. The shadows are being demanded. They are yelling. We're tripping over our shadows at this point. They are demanding to be dealt with and confronted, actively demanding to be seen. And so with this moon card being an energy where we have to bring the things that are hidden into the light so that we can deal with them, this is not a sexy time for a lot of people. And the reason why it's not is because even if your ideal dream person were to come across you, Most Def could be in my face right now. I don't care what people say about Most. That's been my baby since like 2002. Most Def could be standing in front of me right now, and I would probably pick an argument with him because of everything going on between Chiron and Neptune right now, right? And I'm not the only one. It's a lot of us where we need to be focused on our shadows and healing and integrating them, because the heaviness and the prevalence and the control that our shadows have on our actions right now. Don't be laughing at me, Miss Renee. I don't care. Most Def is still handsome. To me, he is. I don't care. Y'all can judge me if y'all want to. We cannot see clearly. We cannot see clearly. And we may say some shit, do some shit, make attachments to people, go back to situations, get back with exes, right? And we'll have regret about it shortly after because we're not seeing clearly. We don't have the stability of our emotions to be able to navigate from a sound and grounded place right now. This is a time where we need to be asking questions. When Seven of Cups comes up, you have to be asking more questions than you are making commitments, okay? Because especially, Eight of Swords. Anything you fear as it relates to shadows that have not been addressed or dealt with, you are going to project those onto a potential lover. You are going to project those onto your partner. This is not a time to not do your shadow work. You will be out here stabbing and hurting people based off of some shit that somebody 2 boyfriends ago, 2 girlfriends ago did to you. Or based off of something a betrayal that you haven't got over and you going off on this person, right? You will manifest your fears into reality if you don't deal with your shadows. Right now, for some of us who've been actively avoiding shadow work or who treat it as a hurdle to hop over to get to something else that we deem more important, we're setting ourselves up to have our fears create little prisons for us. So we got to be really, really careful. This is a time, Taurus energy, to get grounded, to hunker down and do the work, right? Do the work of engaging with your shadows and see it as an act of self-love. Both the King and the Queen of Pentacles are very much about self-love and the sensuality of self-love, right? Queen of Pentacles very much experiences it through her connections with other people and the favor she's able to garner it. Taurus energy of the King of Pentacles. His self-love is, I'm worth it. How do I build myself? Let me sit down. Let me get grounded. Let me evaluate me so that I know how to build a stronger structure within me. And seeing that as a form of self-love. I think some of us spend so much time running away from doing our shadow work because we see it as pain and punishment. But if you can see that personal refinement and that ability to get grounded and see yourself as a form of self-love, it will transform you, okay? And it'll allow you to start moving forward towards the kind of love that you want. Some of you guys can't go after the type of love and the partners that you want, and you keep going back to exes and old ways of being, or exes in a new skin suit, dating the same person over and over again, because you can't see past your pain. You can't see past your shadows. This is part of what needs to motivate you to do your shadow work. I'm attracting like a magnet, the same pain, the same wound, Flav, the same wound. I'm attracting the same person over and over again. And the things that I fear have become an imprisonment for me because I'm just manifesting it in different partners over and over again. The only way that you can put yourself in a position to move forward towards something new, exciting, different, more in alignment with what you have been dreaming and planning for is by doing your shadow work so that you can fully, completely walk away and release the things that are holding you captive. Some of you guys are holding on to some shit that is so old. You are holding on to visions of yourself and your world that are so old and outdated because you're avoiding your shadow work and it is not helping you. And the only way you can walk away from it is by doing it. My spirits are funny. I ask about love and romance and they're like, focus on your fucking self. Love you. Love you. That is the message for this week. Some of you guys should not even be worried about calling in a partner. Even if you're married, you shouldn't even be worried about making your wife or your husband do because they Even that's coming from your shadows. You done made a life commitment to somebody. At one point, your dumb ass loved this person enough to walk down the aisle with them. So they are worth saving. And you knew that when you did it. So rather than kicking their back in because you don't want to look at you, actually hunker down and look at you so that you can keep this thing, this lifelong commitment that you made. Okay? And I love you back, girl. You know I love you, Kodan. You know I love you down. I love you so much. I'm convinced the Three of Wands is a light-skinned woman. Well, this is a deck that's of multiracial people, so I wouldn't be surprised if she were a black or brown woman. All right, now let's wrap up with the money reading, and then I'll take questions from folks if they have them, okay? My elevated ancestors, what wisdom do we as a collective need about money, prosperity, and expansion during the week of August 4th through the 10th? Who do we need to be? What do we need to see about ourselves, our habits, our environment, and our relationship with the energy of money at this time? If there are any obstacles, please reveal them so that we know how to navigate them. If there are any blessings, please prepare us so that we can exercise discernment and do the things we need to do to keep those blessings. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. I'm glad you got to catch a live too, Sylvia. Always good to see you here. Y'all, my decks are so bent up. When I went back home, and I was visiting, and I did a reading for my friend Juan. He mentioned that. He was like, dang, I can tell you do a lot of readings because your decks are all bent. All of them are bent in like a shape. I know some people keep theirs in boxes and do all kinds of things to like keep their shape, but I don't even fight it. It's not worth it to me. I like the fact that my decks feel used, you know? Sylvia said I set my alarm or my YouTube notification so I can know she's live. Thank you so much for doing that, Miss Renee. And I would like to suggest that everyone do that. If you are not already subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. It makes a difference. I would really, really love to get to 1,000 followers before the calendar year is over. I have a way to go. But if you're not subscribed, please subscribe so that way you can help me along with that. And setting the notifications, again, that is helpful because like I mentioned last week, I am trying to increase the amount of times I go live during the week. I want to increase it from 2 to 3 before the year is over. So if you have your notifications on, that makes it really, really helpful. I love this. Before I even read, I want to point out the fact that this is a money reading and not nary a pentacle card has come up. Not nary a pentacle card. A lot of swords, mostly swords, mostly swords. And I love that for us because what did I say during the general? We think that it's about calling more in. It's not. It's about thinking about and appreciating what you have. What did I also say during the general? Y'all need to sleep. Y'all need to rest. Some of us spend way too much time thinking and worrying about money. You're thinking and worrying about money. And that is literally pushing the energy of money away, right? Money, very much like love, don't really like a whole lot of stress like that, right? Maybe not love. I'll say lust. That's a class that we're going to talk about soon. The difference between love and lust magic. A lot of y'all say y'all want love magic. That's not what y'all want. Y'all want lust magic. And here's the thing. If that's what you want, be honest about that shit so that way you can get the actual results you want. But that's a part of another class I'm teaching, which is going to be next week, which is 4 reasons your magic is not landing. We'll talk about that later. But the amount of exhaustion that you bring to your finances, the amount of worry that you bring to your decision making and planning is not helping. So your spirits want you to have some ease, rest, be at peace. Say good prayers over yourself before you go to bed. Ask your spirits to release your overthinking because the exhaustion energy is not helping with the finances at all. And the reason why it's not helping is because all the time you spend worrying about money is taking away from your ability to be creative, from your ability to receive, right? Some of you guys have a project or a product or something that you need to create, something that you need to apply for, something that you need to write an essay for, something that you need to go after, and you can't even get the clarity or the peace to be in the space of creation to make the thing, right? The artist, the dreamer, Knight of Cups. There's something that needs to be birthed within you, and it can't come out because you won't rest. You won't stop stressing. You won't stop worrying and overthinking. This is a lesson you need to learn, right? I talked about this in previous prosperity classes. We automatically think that when things are tight, we got to go run and get a green candle and work it. That may be the thing you need. It may not be. It may be that you need to sit down and do some affirmations and calm your brain. It may be that you need to write a prayer. There's a lot going on with the recklessness with how you guys talk about your money, overcommit your money, disrespect your money, right? I always tell people, if you got $1 in your bank account, don't you fucking call yourself broke. That is the quickest way to lose that dollar. But there's lessons that some of you guys are still not learning about the ways in which your thoughts as well as your mouth really, really control and dictate your relationship with money. Again, not a single pentacle card in the spread. because it's about how you speak to and how you engage with your finances that really needs to be worked on. A huge part of the reason why this conversation around rest and around Page of Swords, how you talk about things is coming up is because if we don't talk kindly about something, if we don't believe in it, we are not going to claim it as a goal that we deserve. Some of you guys have financial goals. E40, I was trying to stop myself because I feel like E40 is one of those people I'm always quoting here. And I know somebody gonna make fun of me. If Venus watches this later, she gonna make fun of me for bringing him up. That is my baby. I love E40. But he has a line in one of his songs where he says, "A dream without a plan is just a hallucination," right? A goal without belief, a goal without faith is very similar. It's a fucking hallucination. And some of the reasons why some of you guys have not reached your financial goals is because you don't fully believe it. You don't fully believe it, and because you don't fully believe it, you talk yourself out of it. You talk about it like it's just a fantasy, right? So that needs to change. And this is the week where you got to really work on yourself around that. The Chariot hits their goals because they believe deeply that they are deserving of being able to achieve those goals. Every day they get up and they do something to bring them closer to those goals. You may not have a Mercedes right now, and you may not have Mercedes money, and you may feel stupid setting aside $20 in your savings account thinking about your Mercedes. Guess what? In a couple of years from now, when you put the down payment on it, you're not going to feel stupid. Little steps every day. Force and drive every day towards what you want. Incremental steps and being comfortable with that. Even if you hit a bump in the road, getting back up and reevaluating the next step, but being so deeply committed that you're going to go after it regardless of what the circumstances are around you. Some of you guys don't save when money gets tight. You may not want to hear this. That's when you need to save the most, right? So there's a transformation that needs to happen in a lot of us who are watching this around how we engage with our finances, how we speak over our finances, right? And this week is meant to reveal that to you so that you can finally go ahead and have that death of your old habits and old ways and bringing in something new. That reminds me of my therapy session last week. I realized that even I don't directly speak down about myself, I can still speak negatively about my shame or disappointment and where I am. And you got to be careful about stuff like that. Got to be really careful. We end with the Nine of Swords. And the Nine of Swords is under the Page of Swords. Some of us are waking up. We're not sleeping at night. That's the main thing that's coming up. Four of Swords, we need rest. We need rejuvenation to think clearly. Nine of Swords, we sit up and we think about everything we don't have, every wrong move we've made. That is not helping us. Lay all those fears to rest. Lay the fears to rest so that you can learn to be okay. And stop revisiting the past over and over again. Because the more you revisit the past and the more you speak where you were from in a previous position, the more you bring that into your present. Okay? So to summarize this, stop staying up at night worrying about money. I know that's easier said than done, but stop doing it. Because the amount of energy that you spend stressing over what you don't have, not only does it make it easier for you to speak lack over yourself consistently, which is something you have to stop doing, it makes it harder for you to have the creative vision about what it is you want to make for yourself, right? The visionary poet energy of the Knight of Cups is somebody who can create literal worlds. So if you can create worlds and you can create a new world for yourself, focus that energy on that instead of spending it on stress. So this is a week where we really have a shift, if we allow it, around how we engage with our energy around money. And that is what's going to bring us closer to success and bring us out of this nightmare, constant worry, up at night energy. Okay? That is the general reading. Just let me catch up on comments real quick, and then I'm going to take questions from the audience. So go ahead and start writing your questions. if you want to, or if you want me to answer a question for you. And then while you're doing that, I'll catch up on comments as well as give you guys updates about the next couple of weeks, okay? Hurricane, but you could call me Slurricane. I love that song so much. And the fact that I was walking around at 10 years old singing it, I didn't fully understand it was about a drink. Never had a drink in my life. But you couldn't convince me that wasn't my song. I'm never broke. Might be on a tight budget, but never broke. Ain't nothing wrong with the budget. Budgets teach you how to respect your money. They really do. When you sit down and do a budget and then you realize how much you waste on bullshit, it will really teach you how to respect your money and how to get better about your habits. So ain't nothing wrong with being on a budget. Absolutely nothing wrong with being on a budget. Go ahead and write your questions out in the comments section if you want me to answer a question for you. If you enjoyed this reading, you can show your appreciation by sending a love offering. My Cash App and my PayPal are scrolling below. They're not necessary, but they are definitely helpful. Energy exchange is real, and it does help me feel appreciated. While you are writing out your questions, I'll go ahead and update you on the things that I'm working on. Patreon class Tuesday. We're going to talk about the alchemy of money, and I'm going to teach you guys some simple tricks that will allow you to transmute gossip into blessings, transmute gossip into abundance, into money in your life. And these things work, I know, because I've worked them. So if you want to join that class, it is a Patreon exclusive. Go to my Patreon. The link is below. It's just patreon.com/Soleil Spirit Work. I have tiers at every level. The classes, the live classes, are only for people who are signed up for one of the paid tiers. So you have to pay at least $5 a month in order to get access to the paid classes. But you do get to attend in real time, and you also get access to a link to the replay afterwards, okay? What else? I did go ahead and extend the Chiron sale an additional week. For those of you who were not able to take advantage of it last week, I know I started advertising kind of late. So, and low key, it wasn't a sale I was planning to do. It wasn't. But because I did recommend that people get natal charts and other things, I figured it would only be fair to give a discount along with it. So if you use the code Chiron at checkout from now until midnight on Friday, August 8th, you can get 20% off of any order over $60 on my website. This is a good time to get a shadow work consultation, a natal chart reading, or an ancestral life path reading. Okay? I got you, Ali. I'll answer your question in just a moment. What else? I feel like there's something else I'm working on, and I can't remember what it was now. Charm School is open. We are accepting new members, but you do have to do an interview. We are taking interviews until August 20th. So if you would like to join our spiritual mentorship program, our priestess training program, go ahead and click the link below to join the WhatsApp intake group, and we will get you scheduled for an interview. I believe that is everything at this time. Oh, Ancestral Life Path readings are also still on sale for $75. So if you use that discount along with the Chiron discount code, you can get it for a pretty good cost, okay? So that's it in terms of updates. Let's go ahead and get into Ali's question. Ali wants to know, what is Colin thinking about our relationship? I hope this is ready for me now. So, okay, let's go ahead and get on into it. Ancestors, angels, and master spirits will walk with me. My elevated ancestors, what wisdom does Ali need about how Colin feels about their relationship? What can you tell us about how Colin feels about Ali? We would like to know anything that needs to be revealed at this time. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. And if there's anyone else that has a question, go on ahead and put that in the comments and I'll answer it for you. You are very welcome, Sylvia. You're very welcome for the reading. I'm glad that it resonated with you. Share with people in your life that you believe can benefit from it. Again, I am trying to grow this channel, and every time you share a reading, it helps tremendously with that journey, okay? I'm going to be really honest with you, Allie, okay? I am seeing that Colin flirts with other people. He has kind of a fuckboy spirit. He does not want to lose you, but he's also not going to stop flirting with other people. Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is here because it represents tightness. It represents clutching to things. It represents a lack of a willingness to let go. So he doesn't want to release you. We have the Magician, and he definitely has a certain amount of charm that he's been able to hold over you. Magician is somebody who is very powerful, very charming, but it also represents a trickster spirit, right? So he's not going to be completely open with the fact that he does flirt with other people. But Devil card, he is very easily tempted. Again, fuckboy energy, very selfish. Capricorn men can be selfish sometimes, right? So I see that he's not going to let the relationship go. He likes having you. And he's put a lot of work into charming you and keeping you, or at least that's what he's trying to do. But they're not, this is not somebody who's fully committed in their heart and whose temptation is very much about getting attention from other people. That's what I'm seeing. That's not an easy thing to say in this public reading, but I have to be honest with what's coming up in the cards. So let me know if that resonates for you. How often would you suggest people get ancestral life path readings? I think that once a year is a good time. I think once a year is good. Some people, I get them every couple of years, and it ends up being helpful for me just to see what's changed, especially if you are venerating your ancestors, if you've taken on new spiritual practices, right? It's interesting to see what new spirits will show up around you and what wisdom they have to give you about your life. So I would say once a year is probably a good amount of time. No one else has any questions for me tonight? Hey, La Balin, good to see you. No one else has any questions for me tonight. All right, well, I ain't gonna beg y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and get settled in for the night. Love you all. Thank you so much for coming and joining me this evening. I will be back for another happy hour reading on Thursday, starting next week, not this week, the week of the 11th. I will be back in the habit of doing the Charm School lecture series Tuesday of next week. So that is going to be Tuesday the 12th. We'll have our first Charm School lecture in a really long time. And that's going to be 4 reasons why your magic is not landing. And I'm going to talk about some common misperceptions and common mistakes that people make in their conjure that is leading to them either not seeing results at all or not seeing results very, very quickly. Okay? So see y'all Thursday. Until then, take care. If you want to talk to me, soleilconjureshop.com to book a reading. If you want to participate in Tuesday's Transmuting Gossip into Abundance class, join my Patreon. See y'all later. Bye.